Alright, I got a cool video for you today. I haven't seen anyone do this, at least not exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do a series. I'm going to do 380 first, 9mm next, and then 45, because I'm skipping 40 because I don't have all this stuff in 40, but I have pretty much everything in the other calibers. So what this is, as the title says, most powerful 380 rounds. And we're going to test them in clear ballistics gel, 10% gelatin, and then also Knox ballistics gelatin, which is what the FBI uses. We got 4 layers of denim for each. I also have other blocks because I didn't want to shoot just these blocks up, put a whole bunch of rounds in them, because personally I think if they're too close to one another, they could skew results, and I know a lot of people believe that heavily. So I have other blocks too, so we're not shooting all these rounds in just these 2 blocks. But literally, these are the most powerful rounds you can get for 380 that I could find. And I got some generic stuff for comparison. So, gee, I don't even know where to start. I mean, most power like energy, aside from like maybe these are going to be like the crazy high-end exotic stuff, and then also just real heavy hitters like buffalo bore. But all the stuff that does crazy damage, or supposedly does crazy damage, super high speeds, plus P rounds, and a lot of energy. Like, I've never even seen a 308. I've never even seen a 380 round to have over 300 foot-pounds of energy advertised, and they're usually barely 200. So yeah. So I got buffalo bore, 90 grain, jacketed hollow point, plus P, 1,200 foot-pounds of energy, 200, or, God, man, I got my words all jumbled up. 1,200 feet per second, 288 foot-pounds of energy, okay? Prior to finding these, that's the highest number I've ever seen for a 380. Underwood, 90 grain, plus P, 1,200 feet per second. And so that should work out to the same energy as that, because they're both the same weight going the same velocity. And again, these are advertised velocities. RIP rounds, you guys might be familiar with these. They fragment like crazy. Real light, they don't penetrate real far, but they just, like, it's like a grenade going off. So I don't know what the energy are on these, but these are just like, as they say, radically invasive projectiles. So those should be neat. And then these are new as of last year, I believe. Most people, I just found these like a month ago. I didn't even know they existed. 308 foot-pounds of energy, 85 grain. You can read it there. These Liberty Defense, really light rounds, only a 50 grain bullet, super huge hollow point, and they're going 1,500 feet per second advertised velocity. And then I got stuff that you guys would be more familiar with, just your standard Hornady critical defense, 90 grain, non plus P, to compare to these to see if these most powerful 380 rounds actually do a lot more damage than your more standard load. Alright, so I'll give you a little up close of them all real quick before we get started. There's the one that most of you be familiar with, Hornady critical defense. There's that one, massive freaking hollow point. There's that, I believe this little small tip keeps that from filling up with crap to where it doesn't expand. It doesn't plug the hollow point, I'm thinking. So where you get that nice big pedal, and then they're segmented down the center so that it splits open. So that's kind of the deal with that. There's that one. There's your buffalo bore. There's the RIP round. They make other stuff too. I forget what it's called, but it's nothing more significant than anything we already have here. The Underwoods too. I like the Extreme Defender rounds. I have those for 9mm and 45. It looks like a little screwdriver thing. There's two. One of them's the Extreme Penetrator, and one's the Extreme Defender. The Extreme Defender, it acts like a hollow point, even though it's not a hollow point. Those are really awesome. But from what I've seen, and I've viewed videos on most of this already, from what I've seen in 380, they don't really do anything. So I wasn't that concerned about getting them. But in 9mm and 45, they are very impressive. Obviously, too, I've gained access, bought most of this ammo just in the past few months. You guys know how crazy ammo prices are right now and how hard it is to find. Pretty much all this was bought online at premium prices, so I'm surprised, honestly, I even found this. So I would love to include more stuff in this test, but these are the hardest hitters as far as energy goes, and that's the whole point of the video, is most powerful rounds. And then I also threw in these oddballs because you're going to have rapid expansion and super high velocities because how light the bullet is. So those should do a lot of damage too, even though their muzzle energy is not as high as these. So most damaging because of energy, most powerful because of energy, and these most powerful just because of what they do or what they're advertised to do. So I hope you like the roundup. I've never seen this good a collection, at least not the high-end stuff like this. Obviously very expensive right now. Also this, very expensive. These blocks are insanely expensive. So I'd really appreciate if you guys go ahead and hit that like button, because this is not a cheap production and none of this is sponsored. This all came out of pocket. So we'll get our 4 layers of denim set up. I cut them a little too small. Oh well, we'll get them set up there, even if I got to put a rock or something to hold it in place. And this is cold, if I didn't already mention that. It's chilled. We got a bunch of them in there sitting on ice. It's very important that you keep these really cold. Optimal temperature is 39 degrees. It's only 50-some degree day right now. I know it looks real nice, but that's just because the sun's out, but you can see like there's no leaves on those trees. It's real early spring. But that's straight out of the cooler there with ice packed around it. So it is the correct temperature to give us accurate results, as long as I shut up and shoot it already. So let's do that. All right, so I got these doubled up like this because if they both, I don't know if you see that tapered edge, it leans inward. If we set them both the same side up, then there's a gap in between the two, and I want to make sure I don't have a complete pass through. So we need 2 of these. They're only like 11-12 inches long, depending on whether you measure from the bottom or the top. So that's why we have it set like this, so that they're touching and there's no gap. Well, I was gonna put the camera there and just so you guys could see me actually shooting it with the gun, but I think it's gonna be a lot more entertaining for you if I bring the camera around to the side here. That way you can see them whack them. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll just be back there, you know, about 10-15 feet or so. All right, so I forgot to mention, but I'm using my SIG P238, so that's what we'll be shooting it with. So first up, the Hornady Critical Defense. Well, it passed all the way through. So these are about 11 inches, so that's about 22 inches there. And that's what I've seen a lot with those Hornadys, is that a lot of times, well, especially 380. 380 is real hard to get the rounds to actually expand. It's also part of the reason I'm doing this video, especially for the 380, because I want to find stuff that actually works for 380, because the velocity is so low and whatnot. Anyways, if you watch very many 380 ballistics tests, usually most of the hollow points do not expand, especially if you shoot them through denim. So hopefully we're going to see the opposite of that today. So there is your permanent wound cavity there. I'll get a tape measure here in a sec. Okay, so that's actually not bad, considering I don't think it expanded, and the reason I don't think it expanded is because it shot clear through. So let me get a tape measure, that way you guys can see how long these actually are. Alright, so as I said, depending on where you measure it, because the edges taper, about 11 to 12 inches, so that was 22 inches of penetration. And again, to get that much penetration, that's indicative that you did not get expansion from the hollow point. That's why it zipped right through. So we should start seeing some stop in the block that actually expand. But let's go ahead and hit that other block, the clear block, to see what happens in that real quick, and then we'll go on to the next one. All right, I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video or not, but we just posted a video explaining the differences between this clear ballistics synthetic gelatin here and this actual organic Knox gelatin. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I'll explain the differences. But real quick, I want to note that, and that's why we're doing both, so you can actually see the difference, because this is not as accurate as this. And there's a reason that the FBI still uses this and has not switched to this. It's because this gives more accurate results pertaining to, what you could expect it to do to an attacker. So that's the reason, though, for me doing both, is so you guys can see both, because I know a lot of people want to see these clear blocks, but then we got these two for the more accurate results. But typically, and this and much more was discussed in the comparison video, so again, check that out for all the details. But typically you get less penetration in these than you do in those. So we'll see if that's what we get here. I'm still going to try to position one of those blocks behind it, though, in case it still passes through, to catch it. All right, I'll try to hit this one low enough in case it passes through. That way we'll catch it in that one. Caught it. Barely. So there's that. You can see already there's a much different result. You start getting a lot more damage here a lot sooner, whereas here it doesn't happen till later. I mean, right here you're talking 3 inches maybe, compared to, geez, I don't know, 8. So you can already see that's a vastly different result with this clear versus the organic. And then that's even more than 22 inches. That's a 16-inch block. That's 11-inch. So let's see, what's that, 27 inches if it had came to the back. So about 26 inches here. We finally caught the bullet, and I can tell you by looking at it, we'll pluck these out when we're done, but it did not expand. So just as I predicted, they're not expanding, which is why we're getting so much pass through. So now we'll move on to the next one. All right, these will be the Underwoods on the left side of the block. I'm running out of daylight, so I still got a lot of rounds to go. I don't have time to keep switching back and forth from left and right, and keep adjusting. So unfortunately, we're going to stay on this side. So here is those Underwoods. Yep, I shot the table. All right, I forgot it was low from such close range, and I hit my table there. So there's entry. Ooh, let's see. Again, that was a Hornady. That's the Underwood there. And it stopped because it expanded. Tape measure. There's the Hornady that we caught. See, no expansion. So "17 inches. All right, let's try the clear block. It's really hard to tell, but that one exited. I was afraid I hit too high. There's what it did. No, it came out there, and then there's the entry into that one, and then a little loop, and then a little loop right there where it exited. So that one did not expand through this. So it expanded through The organic, which is what the FBI uses, it did not expand through the clear ballistics gelatin block, and it exited the back. All right, the buffalo bore, got one in the chamber. There's the other one. Seem to whack it pretty good. Oh yeah. Ooh. There's a little fragment there. You got that tape measure? Oh, oh. It like broke in half. What happened? There's another piece. Wow. Okay, so 5.5 inches in, we got a fragment. 9 1/4, 9 1/2, there's a fragment. 15, there's a chunk of the base, and looks like another. That's 1 foot, 10 1/2. So that was interesting. I thought that was it right there, and then I seen this clear back here. I was like, oh shit. All right, let's hit it with hit the clear, see what happens. There's that one last time. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. And there's just zipped out the back, just like the last one. You'll see this synthetic stuff, and they're not expanding. But what the FBI uses, which is supposed to represent our flesh, they're expanding. It'll be interesting to see if some of these other ones work and will expand in this clear stuff, because I have a pretty good idea that at least a couple of them will. So you can see a complete pass through. So on to the next one. Yeah, they're not a single one has expanded in this yet. Preston just found this. I believe this is the bullet from that buffalo bore that kind of exploded on us. Oh wait, no, it fell out the bottom. That's why. That's what was left. Okay, so the jacket separated, and that's the lead core that's left, and you can see jean material packed in the front there if this thing would ever focus. So that was the round that was there. It fell out on us. Here we thought it was something else. So that was that piece that was sitting right there. All right, the Norma MHP. We're gonna redo that. I forgot I was supposed to shoot this side. I guess I'll show you real quick, but I forgot I was supposed to be on this side of the block. There it is, this furthest one. Oh shit, we're zoomed in there. And it looks like there's a piece of jacket there, and then it exited out the back.
Okay, I got confused here. This was actually the track from the previous bullet, so just ignore me talking about this, thinking it was something else.
Yeah, oh wow, what the? There's definitely something right there. Then also something went out the back. Huh, well let me shoot this other side like I meant to real quick, see what happens. Alright. There's the entry. Wow, look at those swirls from those pedals. You see that?
Yeah.
It's like, you can see where it was spinning. This one didn't do so great. I mean, it looked like it stopped there, though. This one, we'll see when we take them out, but that one looked like it tumbled, and I don't know what the heck went out the back. And then we got that there, which is, well, okay. No, they're not expanding. That's the whole bullet right there. You know, 11 plus 9 there, or whatever. Well, 1 foot 9 inches, and the other one's right here, 1 foot 5 1/2. Yeah, it didn't open up. And well, can you flip this over real quick so you see that bottom one
And that first one I shot on the wrong side on accident. And yeah, that one just tumbled. It must have been a little fragment that shot out the back, but that one didn't open up either, huh? I thought those would do really well, and they didn't. Huh. So in the clear ballistics gel, it stopped way sooner. And again, it did not open. That's about 1.25 feet. Next. All right, we got the RIPs, and then the Liberties are next, and that's it. These things should expand no matter what. Same with the Liberty. Well, I hit low, but it still did its job. Ah! Crap's coming up on my phone. Go away. Jesus. All right. You may not have seen that, but I did. I couldn't touch my screen. There's the entry. You can see it just exploded and fragmented like it's supposed to. See how nice freaking fist size. And there's the base at 10.5 inches, which is pretty much what they advertised, if I remember correctly. There's a little piece down there too, and this one's up here. Cool. All right, let's hit the clear real quick, and it should expand into clear. It'd be interesting to see if we get less penetration from that base in the clear. Hell yeah. Yep, see, less penetration with this stuff. 8 3/4. But it's still expanded. You can see it drug that denim in there. Didn't matter. I got some hitting the tables and such. So there's your RIP round. Now a lot of people don't think it's enough penetration, but at least it reliably expands and then your base carries through. So, wow. Those pedals didn't go as far either as they did in this stuff. But that's the first one to reliably expand or explode, whatever you want to call it, in the clear. And I'm pretty sure the next one will do it as well. And then we'll be done here. Well, I just forgot to hit record, so I hope I didn't do that on any of these other videos. But so now we got the last one here, the Liberty Civil Defense or whatever it was, the little 50 grain super hollow points here. They should just fragment like crazy. Yep. That, yeah. And then there's your base. Not as far as the RIPs, not even close. It's got definitely more explosive damage, less fragmenting radius. 8 inches. All right, let's try it in the clear. Huh. On the clear, this one went further, but in that one, it didn't go as far as the RIP. And did it? I don't think it expanded or blew up. Yeah, it just filled up. So again, this clear stuff is keeping everything from expanding except for the RIP. Because it just didn't expand. So let me dig all these out of here and we'll take a look real quick before my camera dies. And well, yeah, what was the depth on that? 11 inches, even though it didn't blow up. Because it's so light. I mean, it's a little 50 grain bullet. Obviously they're designed to do that, blow up, base carries on. But so that's what I was saying, man. This clear stuff is not an accurate representation like people think. Like, it's cool that you can see through it, but I mean, look how vastly different it is. Only one expanded in this clear ballistics gel, whereas what the FBI actually uses, vastly different results. And you can see some of them were backwards from one another too. Like, a lot of them didn't penetrate as far in this, and then some penetrated further, but I mean, mostly that's because it didn't expand. But yeah, like, this is not letting these bullets expand like they do in this stuff, which is what the FBI uses. So a big difference there. All right, this is the underside here. This is the RIP. This is the Liberty. I'm not going to dig all these fragments out. I'm just going to pluck these out. But so this is for all the actual pig gelatin here. Knox 10%. So there's the Hornady. Underwood. This was Buffalo Boar. The two MHP Normas. That was the first one, I believe. That was the second. And then this is upside down. There's your RIP. Dying of a sinus infection. And there was your Liberty. So, crap, I'm breaking this shit up. Yeah, see, I don't want this in like a million pieces. Try and get it all collected, melted back down. That's why I'm not picking all these little fragments out. So, oh, cool. There's that one. Ips, dirty gel. And there's that one. Take a look. So that's from the RIP, and that is from Liberty Silver Defense. I think that's the base. I'm not sure. All right, so there you go. There are your results. Not too great. Let's pluck out the clear ones real quick and see how they look by comparison. All right, well, I realized I might have just screwed up a little there, because I think some of the ones that went through the clear we caught in the brown, and that's everything that came out of the brown. So you guys will have to pay attention in the video to remember what's what. And so then, where's the third one? Didn't we shoot 3 of these? Is there anything in that? So I think it's just that, because that didn't, did that retain any bullets? Was that the MHP?
Yeah, I think
well, all right, don't worry about it. So there's your MHP, which obviously is going to look just like those because it didn't expand. So, and then we already know what these look like too. They had the same performance other than penetration depth. So you already know what the bases from the RIP and the Liberty look like. So yeah, I've watched a lot of gel tests with 380 over the years, and it's generally not very good results like this, because they just don't expand, man. I mean, sometimes if you skip the denim, you can get reliable expansion, and then usually once you throw denim in there, almost none of them expand. I've seen very few expand. I thought maybe some of these would expand. These are really damn good bullets. From what I've seen in the other calibers, but they're just not working in the 380. A lot can be said about all those other tests I watched in 380. They do really well. All the other calibers have been not 380. So even with these really high-end rounds here, we're seeing the same thing, except for these. You know what? We got one of these that didn't perform in the clear. So both these did what they were supposed to do in the brown. You know, they completely exploded, fragmented like they were supposed to. I think we got one back there in a clear gel real quick that didn't open on the Liberty, if I remember correctly. Let me pluck that out. Yeah, I forgot it. It didn't open up in that Liberty there. Let me pluck it out real quick in the clear. All right, so it kind of did. You see it's full of denim there. I think there's a few petals back here. We just didn't see them because they didn't go very far out, but it did petal out. It just didn't do much in this block. Man, this is way, way harder. Like, look at this. Well, I don't want to do that. I'll show you in a sec on one of those. I can't even shove my finger through there. It feels like my finger's gonna break. This stuff though goes in no problem. I mean, that's vastly different worlds, and that's why you're getting different results. But it's funny because on their website they advertise, you know, this being extremely accurate and all that, but it's very different. And like I said, if you're questioning that I made this correctly and that's why there's such a difference, no, make some of this and you'll see for yourself. Like, I cannot, like, it's breaking my finger. You go make that as strong as you want, and I guarantee you'll be able to shove your finger through. I cannot get my finger through this. And also the stuff I made last time, like, it was a little too strong. It was closer to 15%, which is why it wasn't as transparent. And even that stuff, I could just shove my finger right in there. And trying to stick my knife in here to pluck that out, it was hard just to get my knife in there. I was having to press pretty hard. Also, these are 10%. You can see right there, they marked the cards that they included in each box, 10%. So those are way freaking harder. I couldn't even imagine how hard 20% would be. It'd be like shooting a chunk of rubber. So yeah, like I was saying, once you throw denim in, almost everything I've seen, they don't really expand unless you have a long barrel 380, which almost doesn't exist because they're almost all like micro compacts. I had hoped for better results here. These two definitely performed in the brown gel like they were supposed to, but obviously with these you don't get that much penetration, although their RIP going 10 inches, I mean, that's pretty good, especially with that little base. And then so aside from that, I think that's probably going to be the winner as far as overall performance goes. It had a pretty decent permanent wound cavity. It did expand, as you can see there. Maybe not so beautifully, but it did expand pretty decent. And if I remember correctly, it went 17 inches through the gel. So you got plenty of penetration, you got expansion, and none of these others did that. So that's, considering that these are shallow penetrators, most people are going to call that the winner, but you call whichever one you want winner, but those are our results. I really liked what this one did, but I don't think it was supposed to do what it did. The jacket separated, and that's why there was such havoc, but you can see that the hollow point actually did not expand. So we just got lucky that the jacket separated and made all that damage. But if that didn't happen, then it would have done almost nothing because it didn't expand. These didn't perform. These performed, but don't penetrate very deep. I would go with that one personally if I was going to carry one. Yeah, I couldn't include this on camera because my camera is literally about to die in my hand right now. But I want to show you this you guys this real quick. We did some off-camera testing again because the camera's dying. It would have never lasted. Just because those were the most powerful rounds, and again, I explained at the beginning of the video, they're most powerful as in they have the most foot-pounds of energy that you can get in a 380 round. Except for the RIP and the Liberty, they're most powerful rounds, pertaining to the fact that they're explosive, as you saw. But that doesn't mean any of those are the best rounds, okay? So off camera, look at that. Yeah, these are these old ass 15-year-old Winchesters. I'm gonna get some new ones. So we got more gel tests coming up, is what I'm telling you, with all calibers, not just 380. These are these synergies we just shot. These fragmented like the RIPs and penetrated even further. So these would be not a bad round to carry. And then these things expanded massively. Still didn't expand in the clear, but yeah, pretty awesome performance there. So just because those are all the highest, the most powerful 380 rounds you can get in terms of foot-pounds of energy, doesn't mean they're the best. And even those exploding rounds, you know, they're the most powerful in terms of explosion. And I'm going to do more videos with those later. I'm going to shoot like fruit and stuff and show you like how much they blow stuff up compared to the other ones. But yeah, that doesn't mean it's just because they're the most powerful, it doesn't mean they're the best. So definitely stay tuned for more gel test videos with different rounds of 380s that aren't the most powerful but perform better. Same thing for 9, 40, 45, all that. Anyways, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. Like I said, 9mm next, then we'll do 45. Please like this video, share it, it'll really help a lot. Like I said, this is really expensive to put together and a lot of time and effort, so if you don't mind, please hit that like button. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to be notified when I post the next ones, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, click all to be notified when I post. That's going to wrap her up. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.